But
Hello. That one was definitely on stream.
oh no!
Cancel right away.
Happy Tuesday,
Why were you still
everybody.
counting down?
Unfortunately, you missed it.
I'm not as careful on this one because this one is
group,
usually
yeah.
not as dangerous as the other group. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Delve Requisite right here on Proficiency Bonus. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle. You can get a link to both of those fine sponsors' websites by typing ! Little Dragon or ! CCG in chat during tonight's stream at any point. Little Dragon Corp is a fine purveyor of polyhedral dice. You can use our code BONUS at checkout for 15% off of anything that you buy from them. Okay. Recap time, boys and girls. It's been what feels like roughly 974 million years since we've played, as the holidays and other things. Yeah. Well, the countdown to somebody making a last year joke is officially... It took us 8 seconds. But yes, it has been quite a while since we've played. We were off for some holiday stuff, and with the on and off week schedule thing, it's been a while. So, to jog your guys' memories, you are currently traveling with Rogers and the boys. Rogers being the leader of Rogers and the boys, and the boys of said boys being Carlisle and Rana, who is a girl. They are with you guys as they are sort of the resident, Rana rather, is the resident expert on the Ignian high security, impenetrable fortress prison known as the Estelgath, where party member Zintris has intel that her former boss and ex general of the Brotherhood of Artanis is being imprisoned. You guys are heading there with the intention of breaking in and breaking out of the Estelgath. You've just crossed the border into the Ignian Empire with some help of a former contact of Alar's, Raxus Thorn, who provided you with fake documents that should allow you to sort of limitedly move within the Empire without arousing too much suspicion or questioning. Oh, there goes the mic again. This is going to be the duration of the night, folks. So, basically, when we left last time, you guys sort of worked alongside the captured and then released town guards of Talmark to set them up sort of outside the town as a potentially like a resistance to the Ignian control of the town. You then created a diversion with Raxus Thorn, using some setting of fires, some planting of gigantic magical seed trees, and an illusory spell scroll on one side of town to sort of draw the attention away and allow you guys to bring Rogers and the boys, your cart and your horses through the town, and make your escape to the far side, where you have now circumvented the opposing Ignian town of Vale and are sort of just on the road heading east. If you look behind me on stream, you guys passed around Vale. You are sort of currently heading vaguely this way. The Ignian city of Tel Venal is sort of due east by northeast from you. The capital, Shivasanvaria, is further east over here. Where you guys are eventually going is all the way up there, that red dot at the very top, the very top corner of my screen up there, is the Estelgath. So as you guys kind of ride your caravan away from the potential danger in the evening time here, having sort of made your break into Ignian territory. Rogers will sort of like lean his head out of the back of the wagon and go, "Okay, so that was interesting. We've gotten ourselves into Ignian territories. Assuming these papers that your buddy has provided us, we should have relatively smooth sailing from here on out, I suppose. Yeah."
Good. Plan is to avoid major cities, resupply at small towns as necessary. Zintrus and I should be able to negotiate, buy food, water, that sort of thing.
Rogers nods and he says, "Well, by our estimation, we've got probably just enough food to get us to," and he like sticks his arms out and like unrolls a map of the area, one of the maps that you got from Raxus, and he points to a town marked Alethalas, which is this dot. He says,
Okay.
"We've got just enough supplies to get us there before we restock." He says, by my accounting, to get from here to the far side of Shivasimvaria, which I am assuming we want the fuck nothing to do with, we're looking at about 3 weeks, and then probably another week from there, assuming we are at least sticking to the main Imperial roads. Going is going to get a little wonky once we get too far to the northeast. There's not much else in that last strip before the Estelgath, as far as Rana tells me, but cross that bridge proverbially when we get to it, I suppose.
You'd know more than me once we get past Shelvatal. That's the furthest east I ever got.
He nods. This is, well, I suppose calls your guys. Do we? I figure we want to keep going at least through the night. Set up watches, rest, that sort of thing.
Seems wisest. How are you three? Are you I assume no injuries, but did you have a chance to rest? Are you refreshed? Are you?
I mean, we've been sitting in the fucking woods for like a day and a half. We're fine.
Just wanted to check. Rom, Walter, how are you guys?
I'm just dandy.
I used all of my higher level spells and my emergency escape today, so don't have that, but I still got a few left. Hopefully they won't be needed.
As it turns out,
be believed, I did nothing and took no damage.
it was a relatively painless experience, all things considered. For us, anyway.
Yeah, Oz, how you feeling? You take any hits?
Nope. Why is everybody let? Shut up!
There was such a long pause.
It was like, I know it was because you had to unmute your microphone, but like in character, it read so perfectly.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm I'm amused. It's just there's
I was
just
like,
long
not my
pauses.
blood.
All right. Then. Yeah. We'll. Let's work out the watches. I'll take the last watch.
Okay,
so
I can go if I can take a quick break. I'm good after 4 hours, and then I can be up the whole night.
I need at least one long rest. That's all I really.
Then yeah, so you go ahead and sack out first. Then.
Yeah.
you've got four. You got 4 watches. You've got 8 people. between the 5 of you, Rana, Rogers, and Carlisle. So you can do 4 watches of 2 each, or you can, like, Rana, Carlisle, and Rogers are willing to take, like, longer watches as they are, like, fully rested and stuff. If you guys want to, like, not take a watch, however you want to set it up.
Real quick. What's our... If I could talk with the group, this is, like, kind of in and out. Rana, what is our... They are, like... Do we know that, like, if they got, like, something, like, secret going on right now with,
Something
like...
secret going on. As
like,
far as you guys know,
I
Rana,
felt like there was an air of that. Like
Rana has been to the Estelgath.
Yeah.
Rana was a prisoner in the Estelgath. She either escaped or, like, got out somehow. I believe you guys got the gist that, like, Rana had a bad time in the Estelgath.
Yeah.
You will recall she is a tiefling.
Yeah.
You will recall that she has, like, runage, like arcane sigildry, like, all over her body, similar to the way that your lady wizard friend
Yeah.
Namara.
Namara did, where like Namara's was tattooed on her, Rana's is like scar tissue.
Hard. Yeah.
And she seems pretty cagey about that in general. As far as your discussions thus far have gone,
she's just very, like, there's maybe a bigger portion of this group and more reserved and protective. And
so she's these 3 were tracked down by Tori and Idrian and, like, put into this situation because, like, him being him, he sort of arranged things, you guys having to go there, being able to link up with them, with somebody who had been there. From your discussions with them from our last time that presented with the opportunity to, like, go to the Estelgath and get some sort of revenge or, like, payback or justice for something, like, that she experienced. That's why, like, she has signed on to this. Rogers and Carlisle are basically like, where she goes, we go. If this is what she wants to do, we're in. You guys have not really delved into, like, more specifics of that, more specifics about the Estelgath, anything like that with her. You obviously can feel free to, like, if you want to have a conversation with her, just, you can strike up a conversation with her.
And I think that's where I'm getting at, because I think the last time we tried to, she's a bit tight-lipped.
Yeah,
A little bit. She doesn't talk all that much.
Yes.
Doesn't also like everyone looking at her, so if you talk to her, you can't really do it in a group.
Well, that's why I'm sorry to put this in a long-winded way of being like, if she wants to be a watch with me, I would totally do that if she wants to, but I just don't know if she's, like, too tight-lipped enough, if, like, Roger...
No, I mean, at this point, you guys have been traveling for, like, a number of weeks, like, you're...
And I remember our interactions beforehand just being more of being like, hey, not talking, but hey, if you want, like, more food, or here's your food here.
Sure.
If you want, like, it's more of, like, we've been doing what I remember is we've been doing small acts of, like, gratitude or kindness towards her to just try to be like...
Absolutely.
Maybe you'll open up a little bit. Like,
okay.
We're just,
I will put Oz and Rana on first watch then. Who wants second watch?
Walter can do second watch.
Okay, Walter.
How long is each watch taking? Like,
15
how many hours?
2 hours.
2 hours?
Right, 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 2-hour watches for an 8-hour rest.
Okay.
Because by that way we'd all get what we need.
I'll take the third watch then, because if I get the 4 hours, I'm good for the rest of the night.
And Alar was on last, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so Braum, what's Braum doing? You can, I mean, theoretically, you can. So you've still essentially we've got Braum, Rogers, and Carlisle who can like be slotted into a watch somewhere.
Yeah.
Where do you want to put folks? We have Walter, Zintris, and Alar already on like
solo watches so far. Yeah.
I'll do a watch with Zintris.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And where do you want to put Rogers, and where do you want to put Carlisle?
You want to, we're like, well, I feel like Rogers and Carlisle would be actually good with Walter, but I don't know like where at.
Do either of you have a character you want to hang out with?
I have no preference.
Neither do I. I'll take Rogers.
Right.
I'll hang out with Carlisle. It's fine.
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Alrighty, so let's do it this way. We know Oz and Rana want to have a conversation on their watch. The next 3 watches. Do you guys have desire to have a scene between yourself and that NPC, or in Russell and Zintris's Russell and Zintris, Braum and Zintris's case, between those 2 characters, or do you want to just do your role for your watch to see if you like notice anything or anything happens and like pass on if it's uneventful?
I think I will do a scene much like Osrius is doing. I may ask how well Rogers knows Imperial territory, because like Alar said, once we get past that one large city, his knowledge of the Empire becomes much more general rather than specific.
Okay.
I'm good with just hanging out with Carlisle off screen.
Okay.
Braum, do you want to have a hangout, or do you want to just roll?
I don't know that there's anything that needs to.
I don't think we have anything we need to hash.
If anything comes up and you change your mind, just like raise your hand.
Yeah.
And we'll do that.
And we're taking a long rest, right?
This is gonna be a long rest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, so I'm not even gonna song of rest.
Okay. So Osrius and Rana, please make a perception check for your rests. I will make Rana's. Okay.
Perception. That is 16.
Okay. All right. So you guys take the first watch. Everybody else retreats to the interior of the caravan. And after a little while, you hear like the sort of like the heavy breathing of people falling asleep, and their breathing getting like deeper and slower. And you are fairly certain that you and Rana are the only 2 awake as you sit in the sort of like driver's bench of your wagon, being pulled by your sort of very eclectic grouping of horses. You have your giant Clydesdale, your sort of old mare, and your sprinting Akalteke racing horse hitched up to your wagon. The night is relatively clear and cloudless. The light of the moon and the silvery luminescence of the rings up above shed a pretty easily like an easy to see by light over the surrounding terrain. You are traveling through fairly like flat, sort of scrubby grassland. There's not a lot of like hills or other obstacles, so your line of sight is like pretty good in all directions as you travel along. The road is otherwise quiet and still as you guys carry on. Essentially Rana just sits, quietly next to you and is looking out over the landscape as you travel.
And while we're going, and having a minute, having a moment of just, I'm pretty sure multiple moments of just silence, which is, I would say probably doesn't feel like an uncomfortable silence to.
No, I think the two of you at this point are pretty solidly comfortable in just like not needing to fill. Unlike Rogers, who like seems to need to fill every like waking moment with chatter. The two of you are fine with like these long stretches of quiet.
Yeah. And in that moment, I'm just going to kind of plainly say, it's just, how does it feel going back?
After maybe a minute, Rana says, "It is strange. When I am leaving the Estelgeth, I am say that I will never return. To go back, it makes me remember what happened to me there. Things that I wish I did not have to remember. But at the same time, an opportunity to exact fairness, as you would say it, to the one there is things I must do there. And though I dread it, I am not going to shy away. Perhaps I will sleep easier someday after having come back."
I think that's, well, you know, I don't, maybe others don't think, I personally think too much, but maybe that's all we can really hope for. Even you going back now, you know, even after all of this, it's going to be weird even going back possibly where even I'm supposed to come from. We have a bit of the same instances, I feel like, and even though our roads are two separate paths, I find myself in the same shoes almost as you. And with that, silence and fairness can be just fine.
You are searching to find your answers, to find your fairness, and then after you will go home.
I suppose you can say that. You can call it a part of my home, but I think maybe as Osrius kind of laughs and gives like one of the few moments that I think he gives like an actual like hearted like full-hearted laugh. It was like, but as you seem to have done, and just as myself, as he gestures to the back of him, my home seems to travel with me parts of the time.
She nods and she says, "There was a time I thought that I might return to the places of my past. But I decided long ago that the ghosts that awaited me there were better left to be ghosts of my memories and ghosts of my mind. And she too looks back towards the back of the caravan where Rogers and Carlisle are sleeping. She says, I will never forgive what was done to me, what was taken from me. And I will never thank those who did it for what they did. But perhaps I decided I have been given the opportunity to make new memories and a new home. This, I feel you understand.
He actually gives like a gentle smile for a moment, and being a feeling of like the fire, like not like the most understanding, but like the encompassed of probably the most understood, and that reserve of being like, yeah. And Osrius kind of just gives puts a hand on their shoulder for a moment, being, with hearing the word of ghosts and knowing of that, and just being like, yeah, we certainly have our ghosts, and I think it's particularly sometimes funny to think that some of us just see us as quiet and dull. we just don't talk when we don't feel like there's anything to say.
She nods and in fact doesn't say anything.
Yeah. It's weird.
Okay. Cool. Walter and Carlisle, go ahead and make perception checks.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
Nighttime.
Ray. Guess what I forgot I had?
You have super dark vision.
I have spooky eyes.
Spooky eyes.
Hey, are you sure it's not super broad daylight?
It is not super broad daylight.
What's a 1 get me?
Ooh, a 1 gets you nothing.
A black hole right in front of your face.
Carlisle, please put your pants back on.
Carlisle did okay. Carlisle got a 14 on his perception. He at one point, like, you're just kind of like riding along, sort of like the monotony sinks in after a while, and at one point Carlisle like reaches over and like gently sort of like gives a pull on the reins in your hands, and like veers the wagon a little bit, and as you then like straighten back out and you like look over at him, he just points to the road like passing behind you, goes, "Pothole."
Thank you, Carlisle.
Okay. Zindris and Brahm can go ahead and make perception checks. If Brahm is AFK, I can roll one for him if he needs to.
Yeah.
Hold up.
21.
21. Okay. Your guys' watch passes uneventfully. There is, as far as you can tell, nothing on the horizon, like behind you. So you think you have made the trip successfully. You rounded around the south of Vale, and are heading like west by or east by northeast, headed towards Alethalos, and you are fairly certain at this point, if there was any type of pursuit on your tail, you would have seen it by now. Then, as the sort of like the sky just begins to lighten, the ring above like starts to fade from that like moonlit silvery to kind of like the pre-dawn kind of like cloudy white as the sky lightens. Our last watch rolls over, and Alar and Rogers can make their rolls. And
Perception 27.
okay, so you guys likewise see that everything is on the up and up as you travel through. Alar gets up, Rogers gets up on like the top of the covered wagon and like spreads his weight out on the canvas so that he can like be up at a vantage point, which is ostensibly to like be able to get a good vantage point around, but also you suspect has something to do with just being more comfortable than like sitting on the bench for hours at end. So he's kind of up there, and he occasionally like will like dip his head down over as you travel the road, and he's making like inane small talk and the like, as he is wont to do.
How's the tan coming?
It'd be coming a lot better if the sun would come up. As it turns out, like 5:30 a.m. is not the best time to get a tan.
At least you've experimented. Now we know. Like I said, once we get past the big city, I'm out of my depth again. You all, or you yourself, you got any experience on the interior of the Empire?
Yeah, we've been a fair bit all over the place. We tend to keep away from a lot of the larger cities whenever we've been working in the Empire. He sort of like gestures down into the caravan. He says, me and Carlisle do all right, kind of wherever. But we try to make things easier for Rana if we can. So we mostly only come into the Empire if we get a real hot lead on anything. But we've been around a time or two, and Rana is from somewhere to the north of the Empire, pretty far out from the capital, but she's definitely familiar with the region. We need no concerns that we're going to get lost. But I imagine our travels through the Empire is going to be like anywhere else. If you go to the big cities, the yahoos with the fancy armor and a real stick up their butt for the imperial law are more prevalent. But out in the sticks, most people is just trying to get by.
That's been my experience as well. I only did one job in the big city. Technically, not in the big city, state house nearby. Almost worked out. Ended up costing me almost all the gold I got. All but one of the books I stole. My horse, and my favorite cookbot.
You and I have extremely different definitions of almost worked out. I would classify that as unmitigatedly bad.
Well, I successfully got the stuff out. Only problem was my entrance, not that great. Got into the wrong window. Fortunately, that was the window of the daughter of the House Scion. The good news was she wanted out. And she's like, "Oh, you want to rob the place? Great." Got me some servants' clothes. I got into the vault. Got a lot of gold. Pilfered a few things from their library. She secured a couple horses. We got out. Everything was great. I took first watch. She took second. I woke up. Anything that I kept the one pouch of gold on me. That's what she didn't get. And I slept on one of the books. That she didn't get. I was really pissed about the cookpot, though. I got that thing seasoned.
Roger's laughs. He says, "Oh, who among us has not been undone utterly in a situation that all started with crawling into the wrong maiden's window?" The the rest of you are like awoken by like laughter from the top of the caravan and and like a steady like 5 minutes of Rogers up above going like, "Oh, Ayla, please rescue me from my father who's so mean to me and won't let me do anything I want to do. Don't worry, you can take the first watch."
Interest in Draconic to Alar just says, "What did you tell him about? And can I hit him?"
No, I earned this.
Okay.
Lazarus is right, fucking just like, like real hard laughing, like almost like fucking crying.
Wasn't interested in having a damsel in distress, but it'd been nice to have a partner. She ended up actually heading east, which was the smart thing. All the pursuit was going west.
After like a little while, like eventually Rogers gets like bored with it and he goes back to he does other stuff. But it's at a certain point during the like mid morning, Carlisle like sidles up to the front of the caravan and like leans in next to you and he goes, "One time, we had to go rescue him from a hotel because a young lass he met took all his gold and his pants."
As he told me, who hasn't been undone by crawling into the wrong window of a fair maiden?
In the back, Walter goes, "Married."
Okay, with the exception of Walter.
Walter goes, "Married." Rogers goes, "Nerd."
Sin just holds up her hand as part of the contingency to not be screwed over by crawling in through a maiden's window.
Well, that's fair. You are a maiden.
Does it count? Does it count if I broke the window?
Yes, because you still tried to go. I don't. Just like just his whole face is just like, I don't want to be considered a maiden. No one ever better crawl through my window or I'll shank them. She's just sitting there like concerned.
The window fell into me. I didn't fall into the window.
Oh gosh.
So you guys travel uneventfully until you reach the town of Alethalas. You are low on supplies, food, water, rations for your horses. And you need to kind of resupply to continue on your journey. Walter, you are aware, as you guys are like approaching this town, there is, or was anyway, a Moxham outpost at this town. Just a small way station, like a little more than like some offices and like a relay station for like light couriers rather than any type of major like outpost. But you do know that there is one in this town, or there was one in this town at one point anyway. So as you guys like roll up to the town, it does have a perfunctory 10-foot stone wall around it, though it is not particularly heavily like reinforced or garrisoned or anything like that. It's just a little sort of quiet, out of the way farming community that is built up to larger than it would otherwise be, purely by the fact that like it sits close enough to this like trade route from the main imperial road that leads like to the eastern interior of the empire towards the Mithelandian border. I will leave it up to you guys as you approach within a quarter mile of this town by call it 10 a.m. ish, mid morning, and you do see that there are there's a gate guard, a pair of gate guards outside, but otherwise the town seems to be like business as usual.
I'll just come to the front of the cart with ALR.
I'd suggest we play it casual. We're headed from.
What do our papers say again?
They just give names. You and I are free citizens in the Empire. Rogers and Carlisle and Walter are also, what are some other small towns or hamlets that are, west of us that we could have come from?
Probably nothing with like a really official name aside from Vale.
Okay. Rather not call that name because they'll be like, shit, that town's sealed.
At this point, you can you can feel free to make up a name, and it's fine. Like,
5 gold.
Will there you go. Golden.
Golden.
What's the French word for gold? Hold on a second.
We're from the town of we're coming from the town of now Tacey, little farming community north. Z, we're on our way to visit a member of your family.
Say that name again one more time for the town.
Now Tacey, Naltaeesi. It's a really tiny little farming hamlet about 6 days north, but there's if we had turned north, we would have headed towards it, and there's a small supply road that leads that way. I spent a couple nights there.
Yep.
Okay.
Just sit at the front of the car with Aylar, with the air of like, I'm allowed to be here. I'm from here. Like.
Yep.
You guys do have in the cart. You have a number of sets of Ignian military garb. Are you wearing those, or are they stowed away and hidden at this point?
Well, I can't wear any of that shit, right?
No, you definitely can't.
So I'll be a prisoner, of course.
No, we don't be prisoners.
We're
I'm
dressed
just
casual.
saying. I'm just saying. I'm perpetually the prisoner from now on forever.
No, you guys theoretically have you have papers that essentially claim you as an indentured servant.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. You can pose as a prisoner if you want to. I'm just reminding you. You have the option to do the soldiers, guards, and prisoners bit because you have a bunch of Ignian armor with you. But you have paper to not have to go with that play. It's been a while. I just want to remind you have that stuff in your caravan.
I figure
I vote casual route.
Yeah, just people passing through is a little less
here, and everyone here that doesn't
memorable then
fit is we have papers for being our. And she just kind of winces, and then drops the sentence.
You're visiting family in what's the name of that place? Telvanal.
Telvanal. This city up here? Yeah, Telvanal.
Yeah.
Telvanal.
What were you saying, Walter?
I fully intend to go to the Moxham Enclave that's in this town.
Well, he has just regular papers, right?
I have regular papers. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it is a valid and verifiable.
Yeah, let's go.
Thing if we need it. So.
Okay.
Might as well.
You can be my escorts if you
we
choose.
can claim that you are, you're a member of Moxham who's visiting that way station too.
Don't think that matters too much at the gate, guys. Let's just roll.
Okay.
If they ask, we can make it up.
So, passive perceptions, please.
Mine's 13.
20.
Yeah.
My passive perception, 15.
Yep.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
Daytime. Disadvantage.
What is a disadvantage to passive? -5?
What?
For now, yeah. That's what we'll go with that.
Then it's 5. My passive perception is 5.
Okay. So passive perception's above 10.
Yeah.
You will all notice as you roll in the guards that are at this town do not look to be particularly like veterans. They appear to be younger. Their armor is very new, very shiny, very like unused and unworn in. They appear to be like taking their job seriously, but you get the vibe that they are like kind of inexperienced. Perhaps because like the best and boldest are currently like pushed out into this like overextended war front that they have created. So you kind of get the sense that these are two like dudes who are, either new or left behind, whatever reason. Like, they don't strike you as, like, hardened village guards. As you approach, one of them, like, steps out into the, into the path of the caravan, and in Ignian Elvish, he states to you guys, good morning and welcome to the town of Verethalas. If you would please provide your documentation, we will check it briefly and allow you to be on your way.
Hand everything over.
Yeah, I'll retrieve the papers from everyone else.
He says, as he's like looking over it, the other one begins to like walk around the caravan, like looking at it, looking under it. He like lifts one of the flaps and looks inside. To those of you who are like sitting inside, when he spots like Brahm and Osrius and Rana, he like arches an eyebrow a little bit, but does not comment. The one who took your documentation is like flipping through them. He says, "Yeah, where are you coming from today?"
We were coming from Nautasi.
Nautasi, to have arrived here this early in the morning, you must have traveled through the night, or otherwise camped in the wilderness. A bold endeavor, either way. What brings you in this direction?
We have family to go visit, and we do need some supplies to get there. So we figured we'd pop in to a known town, trustworthy place, and continue on our way.
Make a deception check.
Not bad at all. Let's see. Shit. 24.
He sort of like grins knowingly at you, and he says, "But of course, if I had family far away from this treacherous war front that they have established, I would be going to visit them too." He kind of like, everything seems to be in order. He hands you all your papers back. He says, "Please proceed. Enjoy your time here, and may the rest of your journey be guided by the Emperor's grace."
Thank you, officers.
I wink at him and I say, "If you ever do go out that way, you can find us in Telvanel." And I just smirk as if I'm like, "Ooh, pretty guard," and then the car rolls
as you guys
off.
like, as the caravan rolls away, you hear like the other guard goes to the one, like you see like, "Ooh la la." Okay, cool. So you guys head into the town. Not very large. Probably 2 or 3 dozen buildings. No more than like 2 to 3 stories at the tallest of them. There is like a clock tower in the center of town, and there's people kind of going about their business. Early morning, like shops and things are opening. You notice that this town appears to have a rather high population of halflings and gnomes. It seems mixed among like the humans and elves and a few other like scattering of races. there's quite a few of those individuals going about their business at the town here. Nobody pays you guys much mind. You're just sort of like a caravan on the road. You see that like further in, there's sort of a little town square where there's probably like various shops and things like that. I will kind of turn it over to you guys. Pretty much assume like if there's something specific you're looking for, tell me what you're trying to find, and we'll navigate to what you're looking for and assume you can find it in the town.
So long and short, Walter kind of wants to check out the outpost and see if like, is it still active? Has it been shuttered?
Okay.
The enclave or whatever. And then if it's there and active, to try to like check in and get information from elsewhere.
Are you peeling off from the group to do this, or are you
Walter would probably like try to make a few extra turns just to like throw off anybody looking. Okay. But I like obviously inform the group that I'm going to do this in the first place to like peel off and then meet at an inn that's recognizable, I guess, after the fact.
I'd suggest we meet at the town square because if we can just get our supplies, we'll probably,
move.
The less time we spend in,
the
better. So yeah, meet us back in an hour in the town square.
Sure. So I'll try to gather information from outside of. Okay. If I can communicate with other outposts, I would like to try to gather information from outside of.
Does anybody who's not Walter? Is there something specific you would like to look for or do while you're in town, or do you want to like get supplies off screen and proceed from there?
You said there was a large population of gnomes and halflings. Mm-hmm. Without trying to speak to them because I'm not sure of the lay of the land, is ALR's impression that they are tolerated or they are being treated particularly rough, even by standards of the Empire?
Certainly the folk that you see here that are not of the like elven persuasion are not as finely dressed. A lot of the elves you see are very richly appointed, things like that. But you don't get the sense from like the garb, the general demeanor of the people here that they are being like abused or like really like put down upon. They are certainly like the base level of like common folk of this village. But nobody here strikes you as like, I guess, extra oppressed outside of the normal level of oppression that exists within this society.
I wasn't sure if it was like Alar's hometown where it's like, yeah, I'm the new guy in charge. All the gnomes, get the fuck out. So yeah. Other than that, no. Just find the dry goods general store and let Zintris and or Brahm do a little bit of haggling for supplies, which might be easier, challenging, depending upon what's been taken for the war effort.
All right, hang on one second as I do a dog swap, and then I will return to Walter's.
Dog swap. Oh, I just heard that in the cops theme. That's exciting. Somebody roll for dogs.
No.
The roll was a natural 20 because there are dogs.
Yep, those are dogs.
They are good. They are good dogs.
Okay, Walter, you find the Moxham Trading and Mercantile Outpost. It is there's a couple streets over from the center of town. It is a large, sturdy-looking two-story building. The windows are closed and shuttered. The door is closed. From all outward appearances, the building has been like sealed.
Okay. sorry, I got interrupted mid thought. So it's there. It physically exists. It's not destroyed, but it does appear to have been sealed. Is the recap?
Yes, it is. It is there. It does not appear to have been like burned down or raided or anything like that. But it appears to have been like shuttered.
Gotcha. Forgive me because Jason hasn't had this happen for several months, and Walter has lived an entire life doing it. Does Walter recall any kind of like secret knock or something to like verify if anybody's there in a safe way, or do I feel like I recall that if it's down, it is down.
I mean, you can go up and knock on and/or try the door.
Sure. I'm going to. I kick down the door. Sure.
You kick down the door. Make a strength check.
No, I'm not kicking down the door.
Your foot hurts.
Yeah. My foot already hurt. Yeah, I'll just see if the door's unlocked and see if I can get in.
The door does appear to be locked as you like jiggle the handle.
Gotcha. Do I have a cartoonish keychain full of keys that might work?
You don't.
I don't think so.
Fortunately.
All right. So, can I make the check? Can I make a check to see if Walter knows that this is like not worth checking? Or
I guess make an insight check.
Insight. Does a 19 do anything?
With a 19, you kind of figure if I'm trying to think what the sensible way to like enumerate this thought process is. It does not appear as if the Ignians like seized this property.
Right.
Which means like Moxham Co. like sent orders to like seal it up because whatever is going on is going on. It seems unlikely that they would have just like abandoned the facility. So it is certainly worth at least giving more than like jiggling the essentially you've walked up, looked at the building, jiggled the handle, certainly worth more of like an effort than that before abandoning it as a lost cause.
Sure. Okay. So, having that thought of like, okay, it's in good condition. I guess Walter will at the door, kind of not loud enough to like draw attention from the crowd, but like directed more at the building and inhabitants if possible. He will clearly state that Walter Gray is here and seeking communication. And then I'll knock twice, say that, and then knock twice more.
Okay. You get no response.
Let's see. Problem is, Jason's feeling really dumb right now. I'm not sure what to do with this situation.
Sounds like Jason's gonna do what he always does.
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna cast Excavate on the door. I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely not doing that. just gonna remove the top half of this building real fast.
Gonna dimension door my way out of this.
Oh, I don't think I have dimension door. Can I see inside it?
Inside
the building? Yeah.
You can go to a window and look and make a perception check.
Yeah, I'll see if I can see inside.
You could dare look through a window. Yeah.
I could. How's a 16 do me?
You peek in through one of these shutters. You sort of like lift it up a little bit and get an eye lit in there. You see that the interior is sort of your standard issue like front room with like a counter that separates it off from like the back of the building. It is dark. There are no lights. There are no people in there. There is, however, one solitary thing on the like the counter on the far side of the room that you catch sight of, and it is a cylindrical black scroll tube.
Yep. I'm gonna Misty Step on in there.
All right. So
as is tradition.
You appear inside the building. You turn around. You see that the door has been barred and heavily warded from inside, as has like all of the windows, all of the like possible entrances into this building are like deeply fortified, as is standard issue. You would be aware that like carrying the Moxham brand allows you to bypass this. Had you attempted to like Misty Step into this building or otherwise like enter into this building and not been you would have been like vaporized essentially. Like you would have set off a bunch of defensive spells that would have murdered the shit out of you.
Yep, that tracks.
So you appear inside the building. The scroll tube is sitting on the counter.
We are opening that scroll tube.
All right.
I'm gathering some lore.
Gather some lore. I will give you this. Send it to you in Discord. The scroll tube you open up has a letter in it. And that letter I'm going to drop in your Walter section of the Discord.
Oh shit, I got a Walter section. Hold on a second.
We've all had it.
Nope, I found it. Okay, I found the Walter section.
My Discord's freaking out a little. Is it...
I'll just do that so it pops up. Oh, now it's appeared.
No, I'm good. I switched voice channels accidentally. I fixed it.
Ah, we're back.
Mine is being... Oh, there we go.
Ah,
okay, I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't go. Need I remind you? You do need to read that out loud.
God damn it!
You have to sit here in silence and watch you read.
I'm so sorry. Hard cut.
Look, if you don't know how to read,
As we all sit here in silence for the next minute while Jason reads this.
I'm a quick reader. It's fine.
You just hear read.
No, this
What's
is
it
the occasion
saying?
where you do read from the book.
Yes. Okay, so I will read it. Mr. Gray, left to your own devices, the endeavors you choose to undertake continue to be conveniently aligned with the interests of the company and with my own personal fascinations. It says private, but whatever. You are to be commended for your continued habit of timely utility.
It's supposed to say private. I know what I wrote.
It says private, but it's company A with my own.
That I did typo.
Yeah.
Proceed. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, 50-50. There we go. As you have recently crossed the erstwhile indissoluble border between Mithlande and the Ignian Empire, you and the associated operators you have taken to traveling with are poised to execute a singular task on behalf of the company. The Ignian Empire has declared a cessation to all current and future diplomatic and trade relationships with entities outside their own internal control. As part of the parlance of this declaration of continental supremacy, they have seen fit to declare all properties and goods associated therewithin rightfully imperial property. As you might imagine, this breach and indeed dissolution of their contractual relationship with the Moxham Trading Mercantile rightly renders all ongoing agreements null and void. All protections and assurances, open agreements, and treaties have been revoked effective immediately. Would have been great to know a week and a half ago, Walter says out loud. Here we are. In this vein, the company depot in a town no more than a 4 days ride from your present location has been seized by Imperial military forces who are presently in the process of illegally seizing the depot's contents, as well as using it as a major supply chain junction for their invasion force. Risk management assures me that the contents of the depot are well within acceptable loss parameters for the company. However, considerations of principle demand a response. Furthermore, the Ignians' current aggression against other kingdoms is significantly disrupting operations from across Orahal, and a hastening of the end, or at the very least, a more profit-accommodating restructuring of this conflict is prudent. You are hereby authorized to act at your full discretion to ensure that the contents of the Moxham Trading Mercantile Depot of Kilora-Teleth, and indeed the depot itself, are compromised beyond usability by the Ignian Empire. You may requisition any available materials or personnel that remain at this outpost towards this cause. M. Postscript, see attached counter-sigil details for secured Vault 6 within the Kilora-Teleth Depot. I have deemed your primary objective within the Empire of interest to the company and believe you and your associates will benefit from obtaining a prototype piece of R&D stored there. If you are able to secure the contents of Vault 6 before compromising the depot, you should find travel more efficient, cumbersome.
More efficient and less cumbersome.
Yes.
I may have finished writing this at 6:25 before we started.
I was gonna say 7:45 immediately before I started reading it, but no. Sure. Okay. So there is some sneaky cool shit to be found not that far from here, and hopefully on the way to where we're going.
North,
or at least not terribly out of the way. Anyway, brain shut off. So I will I guess do a cursory glance around to see if there's anybody at this thing, if it was referencing that or if it was referencing the other location. But
it seemed to be referencing this outpost, but there does not seem to be anybody here.
Yeah. Till full of money I can borrow.
It's not a till full of money. You can make an investigation check of the place if you want to go deeper within.
I'm definitely gonna check it out before I bump back out. Investigation. I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The dirty 20. There is in the interior of this building, specifically down in the cellar. There is a sealed. The cellar is sealed off. You gain access to it with your particular identifier. And there is a cadre of parcels and crates and things that were in transit at whenever the shutdown of all of this came and then were thus sealed in here. Essentially what I'm thinking here is when you guys reconvene and you kind of have a chance to talk with the party of are we gonna go do this thing, and if we are, what's the plan to proceed, and you kind of tell me I'm kind of giving you carte blanche to say oh, what if there is this item or this piece of equipment or material that we could get our hands on to help us with this mission, and then depending on what that is, we'll litigate whether or not that's something you might be able to get access to by taking it from this Moxham outpost.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. So I will note pile of mysterious stuff that may be useful in the future. All right. Pile of plot. Let's go. Okay. So I will. Would Walter think it would be dumb to walk through the front door, to unlatch it and walk through the front door?
Walter probably doesn't know how to if he unlashes and opens, right, he probably doesn't know how to turn all the security measures back on.
Well, we're gonna cranky Karen through the wind with the blinds again. Just gonna peek through and
so you
teleport
back outside.
Yep. And I will head to the center.
Alrighty.
While I do focusy things that involve brain power.
Okay. 1, 2, 3,
What's the name of this town again that we're in?
Alathalos.
Yes.
Allethalas.
I'm also at a loss.
Hmm?
Okay. Note taken. Note untaken. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. So basically, you guys, you are a party of 8 people and 3 horses traveling. Provisions for yourself and your horses are going to run you a gold piece a day.
I got enough gold to cover, so 8.
Keep in mind, you are in the Empire.
Need Ignian monies.
You guys probably have Mythlindian gold.
I had some Ignian regals that I used to bribe my way into the last town. And
they were mine.
Zintrus lost all her money at the last.
That's what I'm saying. I think our Ignian dollars are gone.
So you can try to barter to use the Mythlindian gold. That comes with its own potential set of risks, and also an Ignian gold piece. 5 Ignian gold pieces equals 5 Mythlindian gold dragons equals 1 Ignian regal. So your money is worth less here.
Yeah. Alar's not that dumb. I'm pretty sure he would have at least tried to see if he could trade his Mythlindian gold for if he's going to the Empire back at Terra Libra. So
with Raxus even.
Or even with Raxus. So I have 240 Mythlindian gold. It's so 1/5 of that would be 45 regals.
All right, so you got 45 regals. So a gold piece will get you a day's worth of rations and provisions for yourself and your horses. You guys can't really manage more than about a week and a half worth of stuff, with room in the caravan for all of you and your stuff. So you can probably buy 10 days worth of stuff at a time.
Okay. So it would be 11 gold pieces for 1 day for all 8 of us.
No. It is 1 gold piece for 1 day for all of you and the horses.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will buy 10 gold pieces worth of.
For 10 gold pieces,
supplies.
you can keep yourselves provisioned for a 10-day, essentially.
Okay, let me update my thingy.
So they're doing that, and then I will meet up with them at the town square.
Yes, presumably you roll up as they're concluding their business, and
okay. Move that, so I have 35 gold pieces.
And you just got 2 more Ignian regals.
Huh?
Chat gave you
10 gold.
10 gold.
Most kind.
Which does convert down to 5 Ignian gold.
Sweet. Alright.
Or it's rather to 2 Ignian gold.
2. That's why I said he got 2 Ignian regals.
Ignian gold, yes.
Sweet.
Or whatever they're called.
I will add 2 more to my total.
Thank you. You have saved.
Thank you, kind chat.
Most kindly, honored viewer.
Glory to you in your house.
Glory to you. Shift 70 up.
All right. You ready to go?
Hey, about that. So he's gonna pull out the scroll tube and just kind of wiggle it.
In the caravan.
As we're getting into the caravan, that's what he's gonna do. He's not gonna do it out in the middle of the square. I've been informed that we have an opportunity presented to us, and it is twofold to the benefit of our cause. There is some neat stuff in a Moxham enclave or a Moxham warehouse that just so happens to be occupied by Ignians that really should no longer be occupied by Ignians or functional in any meaningful way. If you catch my drift. Opportunity to cut off a major supply line to Mythlinde and get some neat stuff out of the basement while we're there. To that end,
how far out of our way is it going to take us? We are on a bit of a timer.
It is 4 days from here, according to the note.
4 days from here, but pretty much in the direction you're going.
Yeah.
All right, then.
It's essentially a town you would otherwise have, like, kind of skirted around if you're trying to, like, just stay to roads and not go, but, like, it's not going to add time to your trip to go that way.
Okay. I do like neat stuff.
And, if we can recover it, that's great, but it's not required. And as far as Moxham Company is concerned, everything therein is written off. So
Any
we have to be
supplies
careful.
we take would be ours.
Take what we need.
Okay.
There is some stuff in the basement of this location that we can use to that end if.
Okay, so if we're doing denial supplies, tire's never a bad thing. Acid wouldn't be a bad thing.
To help you guys with a little more information, Walter, you would definitely know that a thing sizable enough to be called a supply depot is, I mean, scale it way down for something that makes more sense for, like, medieval fantasy setting. But, like, we're talking about, like, it's an Amazon warehouse. It's a medieval fantasy Amazon warehouse.
I work for Jeff Bezos.
Just, like, full of stuff. Probably mostly, like, raw materials, lumber, or, minerals, things of that nature. Probably stuff that is of a nature that is, like, not going to be super useful for you to, like, mess with the actual contents of the big old warehouse. Though there is typically, like, a sub-level to these places where they have these, like, vaults where, like, more secure things will be stored. In your case, you have been given the sigil deactivation for a Vault 6 that contains a piece of Moxham R&D that like, Moxham has deemed to give you. So, depending on how you approach this, essentially your mission is, like, there is a big building. And your mission is to make that big building so that the Ignians can't use the materials in it or use the building as an outpost. And then, like, do with that as you will. If that helps you kind of dictate your plan and what you might want to ask for if you can find, while you're here.
Yeah. When I was in this basement, did I see any kind of, like, alchemist fire or explosive or anything, saltpeter?
Something...
I'm going to be put on a list soon.
Something with which to make explosives is definitely within the realm of things that I would say, like, if you want to say that's what you
or at least fast flame. Second question, how much space do these bags have? Because when I was in there, it seemed like there wasn't any particular limitation.
I am of the opinion, with bags of holding, that until y'all try some bullshit that makes me go, okay, we've got to put a cap on it, like draining an ocean or some shit.
I'm just saying, if there's 3 pallets of fertilizer in the basement, I'm gonna put 3 pallets of fertilizer. Yeah.
The question, is it rad, comes into play. Like, if your goal is, like, we're gonna blow up an Amazon warehouse and we want to get fertilizer bombs.
Legally distinct from Amazon, for those listening, just putting that out there.
Amazon, fantasy
for
Amazon.
all legal...
It's for legal reasons, this is a joke.
That's right, try and take this podcast from us now, Wizards of the Coast, and your fucking copyright.
We violated MCL 1.1 again. Anyway, so if I can get, like, 2 or 3 pallets of fertilizer.
Sure.
And if there's a bottle of alchemist fire down there or 2, like, it's gonna go in the bag for the express purpose of not being stored for shenanigans in the super future. Maybe keep a fertilizer for the prison.
A couple of pallets of fertilizer and some alchemist fire bottles. Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna put that in my notes just to put that in the notes. All right. There we go. Yep. So that's in the notes. So I guess we'll all like go down there and like just jam stuff in the bag.
I think we can go in there. I think you have to go in and get everything.
No. Like that's what I'm saying. Walter's gonna like bump back in and then like shove stuff in the bag and. Can I actually? How many times can I do this before I have to take a nap? Misty Step is 2 charges. I can do that a bunch of times with the staff. That's good. Okay. Hooray!
Yeah. Then Alar's gonna look into the bag. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Just
I would have told Walter to look for any
Yeah, if there's anything that like makes sense, like Walter will try to find.
Yeah, like just grab anything that can cause harm or healing.
Yeah. If you see any
Like
flasks of
acid.
acid or an acid container, there might be. Yeah, that might be worth using as a
If they have potions
delayed
of healing
detonator.
on there.
So I'm gonna say after the bags of fertilizer and the alchemist fire is a gimme. After this, if there's more stuff you want to find, we're gonna do exceedingly more difficult rolls to see if you locate it. So flasks of acid can be one, healing items can be one, but we'll have to start rolling for them to see if you find them.
That's fine. You want to start with acid or healing?
It's up to you guys.
Go acid.
Yeah. All right.
Just
I will
roll
make
straight
one
d20.
The
Oh, just a
goal is to
D20?
destroy a
I guess you can
place.
make an investigation check if that helps you out.
22. Yes, it does.
22. With a 22, you can find a pair of acid flasks of acid.
So 2 flasks of acid, and let's see. Let's try for some healing items. See if there's anything just in case we need it. We will. How's a 19 do?
19 is not going to cut it. You do not find any healing potions or healing items among the items down there.
Fair enough. We might be able to discover any at that other supply depot.
Can I look for soap?
You can look for soap.
How's a 22 for soap?
A guy named Tyler Durden punches one into your forehead.
I can only hold.
One soap. unless you're saying no, that's not soap.
No, you can have soap.
One soap.
Don't ask where it came from.
Exactly. You gave out the one rule. You said the one word you weren't supposed to.
So, all right.
Yeah, the first rule of soap is you don't talk about it. Wait, that's not right. Hang on.
Alar will check in with with Rogers and the boys. He wants their input. You all right with this? It is a diversion, but could potentially be helpful. Also, stuff.
Walter's gonna like, Rana, you want to burn down an Ignian building for funsies?
Rogers is like, it turns out that arson is our favorite thing, so we're in.
Shit, you like fire too?
When I give the signal, just say the word fertilizer and pull from the bag, and just keep doing it until you can't pull anymore.
We can maybe work out some more specific details of this plan while we have a journey there. So let's travel montage. Hey!
Travel montage.
Any other business in this town before you guys leave?
No.
So we're good on food and assets for travel, and then we have shenanigans in the bag.
So you guys begin to travel east. I know my directions. Who said I did?
West.
You travel east. You head east along the Imperial road that heads eventually, if you continue on this for long enough, into the capital of Shivas and Moria. The road is much more heavily trafficked than your sort of previous situation was. The further you go west, the more people join you sort of heading. The further you go east, the more other folks join you heading east. Who definitely appear, it actually helps you blend in because you're like one of many caravans of, just like common looking folk who seem to be interested in like relocating themselves away from this potential war front. There are certainly a number of very much common folk who are like on foot, not having like means of conveyance other than just walking with packs on their back, moving that way. That is definitely much less so than like folks who more like yourselves seem to be a little more well off. They have like carriages, carts, wagons, horses, things like that. Primarily, like, you get the sense it's like elven folks of some of these like more border towns, like moving to go with family or other, like second homes and things like that. Like, oh, we'll go to the country house and stay away from all this business is done. That type of thing. Coming in the opposite direction, there are military caravans. War horses, soldiers, detachments of like supplies and things like that moving in that direction. You get to the vicinity of the little like town where this Moxham depot is, and it has been like fully converted, essentially. Like the military has like garrisoned this town. The town of Kaelora Thyleth is not overly large, a little bit larger than Alethalas that you were in, but it is essentially like a way stop of a town between sort of the border and the larger interior Ignian cities, but it is heavily occupied by Ignian military at this point. Specifically, the large two-story, like very wide, very long, squat warehouse building that has the Moxham Trading and Mercantile like emblem emblazoned on like the siding of it, but currently is flying like Ignian Imperial flags over it. They are like running like a material depot through this area, so like food, supplies, replacement, like wagon wheels and caravan cart pieces and things like that. Some weapons, some armor, things like that are being like run through here, but largely this is like a supply chain where they are like constructing, putting together, and dispatching the means to like feed their forces that are moving into the Mithlindian territory. So functionally, like, you guys are in like, you're in the proverbial like hornet's nest. Yeah, like you're in the thick of it here. Like, this is very heavily covered by like soldiers and military and things like that.
Good thing that we've got Ignian military armor.
Do you really think we can trick them? All of us?
Not all of us, but we have 3 laborers, and and the Ignian Empire does use human soldiers. Do they use human soldiers, or is it strictly elven, half elven in the army?
There's some humans in the soldiers, not nearly as many.
But it's not,
and certainly not like.
I mean, we're talking low ranks.
Higher up, but yeah, certainly there's some humans in the army.
Are there any other travelers that are going east?
Yeah. Like
common folk stopping here, or is everyone skipping it because it's so militarized?
A lot of people are skipping it. Some folks are stopping. The town is still like a functioning town. Like, there's a tavern, there's, a general store, things like that. Detached from this like big warehouse situation that's going on here. So it's not like you're going to be the only non-military card that like goes in that direction if you so choose.
Okay, we'll save the armor for when we actually try to sneak into the place, but we can, we'll stop over. Hopefully, there's a room in the tavern that we can let, or they've got something similar.
I mean, we could do Operation Oz Drop and get everybody on the roof.
There isn't a tall thing that Oz can drop on to get onto the roof.
I mean, I do have winged boots.
Let's say we have
fairly obvious in the sky.
Okay. Rogers is like, I think we should go with a plan that does not involve dropping a Goliath in plain view of like 9,000 soldiers onto a building.
Yeah, let's save the war drop.
Whatever, man.
We'll consider that an exit strategy.
Yeah, that's what we got to get out fast. Move.
Besides which,
have the bags.
The bags are currently full of stuff and things. So
they're full of space too. They work weird.
Let's not test our luck further.
We experimented pretty extensively with these bags. I see no reason why you can't utilize a strategy that involves one person sneaking their way somewhere and then the rest of us coming through the bag, if that's the plan.
Well, it would
might be me. I'm good at sneaking, but if it comes to having to talk their way out of
trouble
things, that might be Z. I got one ace in the hole if I can catch somebody by surprise, but if it doesn't work, things get very dicey very fast.
Is there a back door to this, or a side of the building, a side of it that's like, is it like dead center of town?
There's many. No, it's like slightly adjacent to the town.
Okay. So like a back alley.
There was a convenient secret entrance that you were informed of, was there?
Everywhere is a secret entrance. I have the ability to put a hole in the wall.
All right, let's get to the tavern.
Yeah, let's just scope things out quietly and calmly.
Is that a secret entrance? It is now.
That's also extremely obvious. I prefer not creating a large hole in the wall until
temporary.
We're making many holes in the wall.
Fair. Does anybody want to quietly scout around it, and while we're going to the tavern, and then meet up in a few minutes to get a... I'm stupid. I'm just gonna let Morgan fly. I'm just gonna let Morgan fly around and see if she can get like a lay of like if there's like a wooded area that's like next to it or whatever. Anywhere we can make a plan of attack.
Yeah, Alar might hop off and join the civilian traffic. I imagine there's at least a few people who are watching, the goings on because it's like, wow, that's a lot of soldiers.
Make a investigation check for Morgan and make a.
Morgan, she's a really cool.
Let's make an investigation check for Alar as well.
Oh, jeez, what form is Morgan in right now?
18.
I was gonna say she's a raven right now.
Yeah, I think she was when she flew the bag to.
I don't know that she's not. She's been not a raven.
She's been an owl and a spider alternately.
Oh. Okay. So it was a raven. What was your investigation?
It's -4. She doesn't get. Okay. Morgan's investigation is a 11 -4.
Yikes. So I mean, this building is wide open. Like there is clear area all around it. Like it is intended to like bring heavy caravan traffic through. So like it's been cleared all around. There are all of the like entrances. There are like guards and people moving about. There's like an encampment of soldiers that have been set up like just to like kind of like on the south side of the building itself. There's like a tent camp. Presumably these soldiers who are like manning this facility. are located there. You don't see any covert approach to this building. Alar, with your 18, as you kind of like mingle through the crowd and stuff like that, you don't pick up anything super relevant to like your current situation. You know, the folks are just talking about like the war. You know, the general vibe seems to be like the perception here is that like this is something people are almost, you know, even though they're like moving away from being in the direct like path of potential danger, like people seem to be almost like excited about this prospect. Certainly like the elves, you know, like this is as you know, as far as the Ignian Empire's like philosophy is concerned, like they are a kingdom of people from whom like rebels and usurpers like took their home and took their land, and like Emperor Jesus,
this is their grand crusade to retake that which was stolen.
Like Emperor Telthalar is he's finally like, you know, he's finally going to take back our homeland and all this. So you don't necessarily learn anything like interesting necessarily towards your current objective that way.
Then yeah, he'll rejoin the group.
The tavern that you guys reach does not have a sign above the door. You don't know what it's called. It does appear to be doing a rather roaring business as you go inside. You know, there's like the normal folks who look like they live here, but there are a lot of soldiers, you know, obviously passing through the area, like, you know, seemingly off duty, just having drinks, making merry, things like that in this tavern as you come in. Nobody pays you even the slightest bit of mind.
Okay.
I mean, some mind, right? Like a Goliath and a pretty burly half-orc draw some attention, but nothing especially like untoward.
All right. Do I hear? I'd like to keep an ear out to hear whether there's any soldiers who are waiting to go pick up things from the depot, or are going to be headed to the depot with orders to, you know, like, pick up X number of this, Y number of that, and Z number, you know.
Okay. Make a perception check.
27.
With a 27, there is a small group of Ignian Imperial officials, like, in one corner, having drinks together. You glean over a period of time, sort of listening in their conversations. One of them, they are like a group of individuals who are established at that camp that Walter told you guys about through Morgan. They are like a particular guard shift, and one of the individuals there is like has a little bit of rank among like the essentially like the stewards who are in charge of like organizing and directing and facilitating some of the traffic through this area. And their conversation is like inane enough. They're just sort of like having after shift, after duty drinks. But you glean that like this group of people particularly like have access to, you know, the area. And they're like their boss, who's like buying the drinks for everybody, is somebody with like enough superiority that he is, you know, pretty able to like move freely throughout that area.
All right. I imagine he's got working papers of some kind, and that might allow a pass through. Time for a little invisible mage hand. Do I see a papers pouch or anything that might be on him?
He's probably. I mean, he's got like a coin purse and stuff of that nature. But like any like identification and stuff like that is probably tucked somewhere in among his like his vestments and things like that.
All right, time for a little bump and grab then. I'm going to wait a bit. I'm going to grab a drink, and then I'm going to proceed to head over and then stumble like I tripped on the way heading toward the privy, and I'm going to try and bump into him.
Okay, make a sleight of hand.
Advantage. 23.
With a 23 in the sort of like jostle of the crowd, like you manage to like kind of like pick his pocket, which he does not seem to like notice. He certainly notices being like bumped.
I apologize profusely. Yeah, so sorry. And head toward the privy.
Make a persuasion check.
Five.
You sort of bump into him and like meander off, and you go back to the privy. The rest of you guys, you see the Ignian Imperial that like Alar bumped into. He like exchanges words with the group that he's with. He looks like deeply vexed that some like nobody like would bump into him and then like offer him like a hasty apology and like scamper off and like think to just leave. He nods towards some of the people in his group, and you see that he, flanked by 3 of his individuals, go off towards the privy where Alar just went.
How far is the privy from where we are? Presuming we all got like kind of close to watch this, but not too close to be associated.
You probably, I mean, you guys are like on the far side of the room probably. So I mean, they're 20 feet, 30 feet ish from you.
How far can I presume Alar is?
Alar probably is, unless there's like an exceedingly long hallway or something like that, or it's like an outdoor outhouse. Mm-hmm. Alar's, like he's probably within 100 feet of you in any given direction as the crow flies, though he is out of sight as he has like left the main chamber of this.
I point in Alar's direction subtly with my drink covering my mouth and cast message, and just say, 3 of them are coming for you. They didn't like your not profound enough apology or something. They're just being dicks. You want us to come get you or come help?
Yeah. Do the angry matron looking for a servant.
I've got a better idea. I'll messaging him back to him. I've got a better idea. And I stand and I look at Oz. And I go, we have to go. We're not fighting yet. You're there as helping me, but no swinging unless they swing first, okay? And I pat him on the shoulder, and Oz and I go off to the privy, like same way that they're all going.
Okay. And
I'm change my face to look really annoyed, and I'm muttering to myself as I go past the table, "Stupid half brother, my father's bastard," and I just like straight after him.
Okay.
Like angry.
Quick question: Did any of us have the opportunity to get a good look at this guy?
Theoretically.
Nope, it's for future point, depending on how this plays out. So
I'm trying to commit. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should commit a DM faux pas here. In that, normally, I would remain passive. However, there is a player currently who is dealing with having to keep stepping away from the computer and is clearly not in the fullest attentive state of mind, which we all know about. Like we talked about before. He's not feeling the best. He's trying to tough it out for us.
You want to pin it here?
That being the case, no, because it doesn't. It doesn't go for there to be like 2 minutes of silence on stream while I type a message to you guys. I think I'm gonna step in on Russell's behalf as like he's sort of he keeps being incapacitated in a way that is like excluding him from being able to be part of the situation here. But like specifically Walter, your question of like, did we get a good look at this guy? Brahm has an item that is extremely relevant to the situation that you guys currently find yourself in.
Yes, he does.
And so at some point, Brahm is likely to like
be part of the escort group.
I have something to contribute to this situation,
yes,
type of
does.
thing. Normally I would not say anything, and I would let him like come to that if he's going to come to that on his own. He is clearly not things are not going great for him at the moment with his stomach bug situation.
We're thinking the same thing. His version is better and more useful.
His version, keeping in mind, does involve that you kill that guy.
Yes,
that doesn't matter. Ultimately.
I don't, Russell. I don't know how much you just were listening, or if you like literally just came back.
Literally just came back.
Okay, so to catch you up, these guys are like discussing plans. Alar bumped into a dude who is like, you're in the tavern. You are like eavesdropping on a group of guys who, like, at least one of the guys seems to be like high enough up that he has the ability to like go into that depot and move around and like have access to things. Alar like scotched up, bumped into him sleight of handed, stole his like ID papers off of him, but the bump like offended him. Alar went off to the bathroom. He and his like buddies like got up and are like following Alar to presumably like go beat him up or whatever. Zintris and Oz have gotten up to like follow him. Walter started talking about like, have we gotten a look at him? Do we know his appearance? Things like that. And the statement that I made was, normally I would not intercede as DM.
Yeah, I was here for that.
Okay. So normally I would not intercede as DM, but like you have the mask of 1,000 faces. And I didn't, I didn't want to, have you get like cut from this situation, being that like you have kind of extenuating circumstances that like kept you away from being able to necessarily contribute to the conversation.
Yeah, if necessary, I'll mask 1,000 faces.
So that was where we left off, was like Zintris and Osrius have gotten up to go follow these four dudes to like the privy in the back of this saloon.
It was 4, yes.
Lead guy, 3 buddies. Your play on like what Brahm is or isn't doing.
Who do we think we need to, like, the main guy is who we want to try and get?
The main guy is probably who you would want to try and get.
We can't. Yeah.
So, as like, I think Walter would like lean over to Brahm as like Oz and Zintris get up to go follow, and I'm gonna like lean over and it's like, I think if we both steal his face, it could cause enough confusion to where both of us should be able to get through with minimal issues.
What?
This guy looks really. This
You
guy
think
looks
both
really
of us
important.
disguising as the same person is going to be a better plan?
We're not going to be in the same place. We're just going to cut through the crowd and the confusion. I'll leave now and head through. You get his face and his memories, because then you'll have a better opportunity to like actually talk your way through stuff. I'll just pretend to be super busy and in a rush and just ignore everybody.
All right.
I just need to get into the basement. Once you guys are in the facility and in position, we'll start unloading. But that guy's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that guy. And at that point, Brom gets up and like follows Zintrus and Oz after those dudes. It may not be a problem too much longer.
So now that the entire rest of the party is that way, Walter's gonna like go out behind the tavern,
okay,
and disguise self as that guy, and then like fast walk. Fucking, I got a thing in my hand that I'm like in a hurry to deal with.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fast walk directly into the place.
Okay.
You're going to the warehouse on your own?
As you start doing that, we will
let's watch this scene, but like Walter's going to go to the basement.
It takes a couple minutes to walk there. This thing will resolve before Walter gets anywhere, like fully to start our next thing. So. Alar, you like walk into the back, you go through like a short hallway, you like open a door to the privy, you enter into a decently sizable like multi-person bathroom. There are stalls, there is a urinal, there is some sort of, the Ignians clearly have some sort of like, you don't think it's necessarily like indoor plumbing as much as it is like there's some sort of a magical resolution to like potty time that they have figured out in their taverns here. So you enter in, there is somebody who's like washing their hands in a like a basin that has there is like this like decanter which has been like affixed to the front of the basin, which is like pouring this like continual stream of water. They're like washing their hands. You kind of come in, they don't pay you much mind. Like 2 seconds later, these like 4 Ignians like bump into the room, and the vibe gets very dire. And so this person like shakes the water off their hands really fast and like gets the fuck out of this bathroom. As you are left standing with these 4 Ignians. One of them, the lead one, the one you bumped, he looks at you and he says, "You assault an officer of the Ignian Imperial Army and then walk away, half-breed?"
Alar's doing a mental count in his head and like, how much time would Zintrus need to get here?
Not much time. I'm right there.
As I said, officer, I am terribly sorry. I do have one question for you and your friends, though.
He like opens his mouth to respond, and that is when like Zintrus, flanked by Oz and Brom, enter the room, and he like turns around. Zintrus looks at you. He like looks at Brom, and he looks at Osrius. His kind of like lip curls, and he says,
Before we get,
go ahead.
Go away.
Before we get started, does anyone want to leave?
That changes anything I was gonna do. I was gonna try to play this off as like my stupid brother, But now that he's like laid out like a threatening line, I'm gonna go.
Okay, so he was about to like tell you to like fuck off.
Tell me to fuck off?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems, but then like Alar says that, and then he like turns back to Alar, and he turns back, and you see like the calculus goes across these 3 guards' faces of like what the actual situation is, and like 4 hands go to swords.
I shut the door. Is there a lock on this door?
Sure.
I lock it.
You shut the door. You Lock. Roll initiative.
Because Oz is yelling something, but you're muted, buddy.
It's not that he's muted. He's that his microphone died.
Oh no. Curtis and
no, you're still muted, bud.
Curtis and his
God,
microphone.
that was the worst. That was the worst. I was like, yes, the lock can be me just standing in front of the door.
No, I want you to punch this guy.
No, I'm gonna stand inside the door. I'm just gonna just stand right there.
You like turn Oz's nipple ring like half a turn to the left. Yeah. He's like, door's locked.
Why does Oz have a nipple ring? I don't know.
It's canonical.
I can't wait to have a quiet bathroom fight.
Quiet bathroom fight is very good.
Muffled sounds of guerrilla violence.
Like cover his mouth, get some shots in the body.
Alrighty, so yes, that is the stipulation here. You have initiated a bathroom fight, but if you make too much noise during bathroom fight and draw more attention to you, it's gonna be a problem. So
I'm aware.
What are those initiatives?
19.
Terrible.
22.
No, I have advantage.
22.
Oh hell yeah, I got advantage on that one. So that's 17.
17. I saw your mouth move. I didn't hear you. You're muted, Russell.
19.
19. Okay, so you're with Alar. Okay. So there's no surprise round here, but they rolled terribly. So Zintris, you are the first to react here. You you lock the door, and on the outside of the door, we just see that like a small thing. There's like a picture. It's like a little silhouette picture of like a little like a little man and a little woman stick figure with like pointy ears, and there's like a half circular thing above them, and it goes from green to like red. So you lock the door. You are the first to act.
With a 26 on firebolts.
Are these all elves?
These are all elves.
Yeah. Say, does anybody have silence?
No.
No, but I have sleep. The one thing I was going to try was a charm, and they can't be charmed.
They have advantage on saves.
Advantage on charm. They can't be put to sleep.
They can be. You just have to. They
can
be
definitely charm.
Knowing my luck, it's gonna.
So yeah, 26
firebolt definitely
at
hits.
the big guy.
Fire? Is that quiet?
I don't think it's particularly loud. Just if he screams, like a bitch.
I mean, it is a fire spell, so it's gonna burn.
Oz pees his head, and I was like, "They had the chili." Just closes the door again.
Don't worry. I'll be out in a minute.
I rolled the wrong dice. I was like, wait, that's too high. What's happening here? Ignore me.
Hold on a second.
That's better. That 14 points of
14
damage
points of
to
damage.
him. And I just say, you're the half breed.
Roll a d20 to see how noisy that attack was.
So I want high or low is the question.
You want low.
Okay. Well, it's got a 12.
Okay.
That ain't bad.
Just to explain the mechanics I've made up on the fly here. Every time you guys make a roll and you do like an attack or do a turn, and you don't make a move to like mitigate or make the attack silent in some way, I'm going to have you roll a d20. I'm accumulating all of those rolls, and when you hit a certain threshold, like enough noise has been made that like shit's gonna go down.
That's a good call. I love
it. So, Zintris, you sort of there's like click, and then there's like streaks across. The guy gets hit. He's like
his ass.
Badly damaged. In fact, actually, how badly you burn him is like the thing that prevents him from being able to scream too loudly. As his like he like inhales a bunch of really hot air off of the firebolt. And he's still on his feet though, although he is in bad shape.
I smirk at him and like this, but I'm also reminding myself I'm standing next to Oz and Brahm, and I feel very confident in this position.
Alar and Brahm, you guys are both up.
Yeah, I would like to try something immediately off of what Zintris did.
Okay.
That man who is now screaming in pain.
Sure.
I would like to attempt to throw 1 gold piece into his open mouth.
Okay. Make a roll. I guess roll a d20 plus dexterity.
What country's gold coin is it?
Mithlindian, so it's probably small.
Could be
21.
21.
If that's not enough.
Nope, that's
okay.
You just fling a gold coin.
Does that
the
count as
fireball
my
hits him.
action?
Oh, yeah, that definitely counts as your action.
Okay.
He goes like, he's like, ah.
So it's like kind of in his throat, right?
Goes into like it immediately like goes in.
Sends their regards.
Hits his uvula, and he's like,
Does he swallow it?
Ooh, let me make a roll.
I think it's probably lodged. I want to say it's lodged.
No, he does not swallow it, but it is like it like hits the back of his throat, and he's trying to like hack it back out right now. As you throw a gold coin into his mouth.
I think I know what you're doing, and I love you.
Alar is
has
going
to stay there till my next turn.
Yeah. Alar is going to move the lumbering oaf to the guy's left.
Okay.
He's hoping that he might turn when half turn when Zintrus lit his boss on fire.
Sure.
I'm going to draw my dagger. I'm going to try and pommel his head, but at the same time like clap a hand over his mouth so he doesn't make too loud a noise when I...
Okay. I will have you make your attack roll at disadvantage in that you are trying to, like, hit him and keep him silent at the same time.
Okay. Is he technically engaged now?
He is not engaged currently because nobody has, like, crossed the distance to close with these guys yet.
Crap. Worst of which is a 12.
12 will not hit you.
Okay.
You try to pommel him. You get like a hand over his mouth. The pommel comes down and he like wrenches his head free of your hand and it causes your dagger to go wide.
Okay. I'm not using the blade. Was trying to.
Okay, that's fine. No loudness roll necessary. As you took your lumps for trying to be stealthy. The thing that Brahm did wasn't noisy, so I didn't have him roll.
That's fair.
Osrius, that brings us to you.
Okay. Do we still have our bags of holding?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I want to immediately take that bag of holding and shove it over somebody's face.
Yes. Okay. Make a D20 plus strength. No proficiency bonus.
Okay. Cool. That's immediately what it was either going to go under the continuous fountain or the bag over the head, so they can't say anything. That will be a 16 plus 16 plus what?
Your strength.
Strength.
That is 16 plus 4. Yeah. So
you run up. The guy like eyes your great axe and like prepares himself, and then you just like ram a satchel over his head. The bag of holding like it goes over his head and shoulders. You basically just pull this thing and like the top half of his body disappears, so that he's like a pair of legs with like 2 arms coming out from under the bag of like slapping in the bag of holding, and then he just doesn't like the upper from his belly button up is just like gone because there's just a bag over him. So he's like a pair of legs with hands like coming out of it. He fucking drops his sword like.
Just bagman this guy.
Yeah.
You bag it. It doesn't do any damage.
Hey,
but it's
who
silent.
Who did you bag? One of the other guys or the big guy?
I bagged I want to say I bagged the first person that was in front of me, like immediately. If
Probably
Alar,
one of the
ideally one of the guards.
We'll say you bag. You can bag one of the. We'll call him guy number 3. Is now bagged.
I want to say it's pretty much a 1. If this all goes off at once. And the coin goes into the mouth. Alar's trying to get that guy. I'm immediately just like...
You go to one of the other guys. Bag over his head. Okay, very good. Okay, it is their turn. The main guy, I'm going to have him make a Constitution saving throw. He rolls a natural 1. He swallows the coin.
Oh, no.
So that's
that works for me or not.
What's that?
Are you?
So I don't know if that's gonna work for me or not.
He swallows the coin. He turns and he's going to attempt to stab Osrius, as Osrius is currently holding a bag over one of his buddies' heads.
That's fine.
So a 20, he's going to make 2 attacks, a 20 and an 8. So a 20, I assume, will hit.
Yeah.
Osrius, you take 7 points of slashing damage.
That's fine.
Guy with the bag over his head is going to make a strength check to try and pull the bag off of his head. I guess make me a contesting strength check, Osrius.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, God. You got to beat a 9.
I'm pretty sure I'll beat a 9. Yeah, that's a 17.
So, like, disembodied hands, like, grip the edge of the bag and try and, like, wrestle it up over the torso, and you just, like, hold it down.
Yeah. Smack his hands away. No. Shut up.
Okay. That's him, and then 2 more guys. The guy that Alar tried to bonk is going to make 2 attacks against Alar. A 21 and a 11.
21 hits. I will uncanny dodge.
7 points of slashing damage to you, so you'll take 3. These guys are not trying to be quiet, so I'm going to make... let me roll the last guy, and then I'll do this. The last guy is also going to attack Osrius. He misses both times, though. So 3 guys do things that make noise, which will add 20 total to your guys' total.
Okay, not bad. Not great, not bad.
Total of 32. All right, top of the order is interest. That brings us to you. So currently, the one guy, you hear like a as he swallows the coin. One guy is legs with a bag over his head, and the other 2 guys are currently trying to stab Alar to death.
Question, and this might be I don't know if it's ever come up before. With hold person and they're paralyzed, can they talk or make noise? Or they just like their body doesn't work, but their mouth can still. They can't talk, right? They can't make noise.
Yeah. No,
Yep. It was used to great effect in the previous campaign.
Incapacitated.
Okay. I'm going to.
Oh God, I remember.
I'll save that. Hold on. I have to do spells math now. Hold on. At 3rd or higher, you can target an additional humanoid. So I'm gonna cast it at 4th level, so I get 3 of them.
Okay, so you can get the 3 guys not currently a pair of legs sticking out of a bag of holding.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So they have to succeed on a wisdom saving throw of 15. So if it's under 15, they are paralyzed and can't make noise.
One of them fails.
Only one fails? Damn.
Yes.
Which we know who? Do I know who fails?
The one of the 2 non-burned guys is held.
Okay. Is it the guy in front of Alar or the guy who hasn't done much yet? I just want to know for
Alar, Osrius, and these cluster of dudes are all like right next to each other. The only guy who's actually taken any legitimate damage is the boss guy.
Okay, so whichever guy just goes completely still and drops, I just laugh and then prepare to duck behind Oz again if I have to.
Okay. Roll a d20 at disadvantage and take the lower as your addition to the loudness.
And take the lower.
Actually, let me ask. Components for hold person spell. Vocal.
Verbal, somatic.
Verbal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not gonna be like shouting stuff, but yeah.
No. So that's why I say disadvantage and take that lower one.
Well, that's fine because it's a 1.
Okay. All right. Brings up to 33. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Then I just realized. Should have done this earlier. music. Okay. Alar and Brahm, you guys are up. One guy is bagged. One guy, like Neville Longbottom style, all of his limbs snap together as he is held. One guy is badly... The two guys who are, like, still free, one of them is really badly burned and has just swallowed a gold coin for some reason. And one of them has yet to be damaged.
I suddenly realize what Brahm was doing and immediately go after the undamaged, unparalyzed guard.
Roll a hit. He is now engaged by Osrius.
Okay.
I look forward to the wedding.
20 to hit.
20 hits. Roll damage.
All right. So 6. And where's the sneak attack? Where's it? Okay. So he takes 18 points of bludgeoning damage as I conk him on the head.
You're doing Are you doing non-lethal?
Yeah, I'm grabbing him. Trying to do the.
All right, so this is an attempt at non-lethal damage.
Yes.
Okay, you pommel him in the base of the skull and knock him unconscious in one strike.
And I'm trying to grab him to keep him from landing too heavily and making too much noise.
Roll since I didn't have you do the attack at disadvantage. Go ahead and roll a d20, just normal.
Okay. 16.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of ease him to the ground, but when he goes unconscious, he drops his sword, which clang, clang, clang onto the floor of the bathroom. You guys are at a 49 currently as your noise level. Okay. Brahm, what are you doing?
Well, I think my original plan is foiled as he swallowed the coin. Because heat metal does state that you have to be able to see said metal.
Unfortunately.
So, Coiny McGee is...
Actually, hang on a second. Because I rolled a nat... the swallowing the coin was because he nat won'd. If we take into account the spirit of the thing that you were trying to pull off, I feel like the nat 1 means he continues to choke on it. So he's like, and you see the glint of gold in the back of his throat.
But I'm going to do two things.
This just got worse.
That's pretty brutal, man.
Technically 3 things if I have to move. I'm going to move up to him, cast heat metal on the coin, and then immediately clamp a hand over his mouth.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Roll a sleight of hand.
You doing okay, buddy?
Yeah, you okay there?
You want to talk about it?
Look, you brought the former slave to the slave capital of the world. He's gonna burn.
He's just gonna Django and chain this shit.
I mean,
sleight of hand, you said?
Yes.
Can we cut scene back to Rogers, Rana, and Carl just drinking ale in the tavern?
Yeah, they're like, I wonder what they're doing right now.
They are. So actually, if we smash cut to them. The 3 of them are sitting around the table, and currently, Rogers is. You see, Rogers is 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi.
That's a 23.
23.
And if it's not enough, I'm going to use my
that's
inspiration.
fine. You don't need to even worry about the damage from the heat metal. So Brahm, you hold a man by the back of the head and over his mouth.
Yeah, basically, I'm trying to get him not to scream. As
you watch the life leave his eyes as a cherry red, darkening to black burnt hole appears in his trachea as a coin burns its way out of his windpipe and drops to the ground and clatters at his feet, and his eyes roll back and he dies in your arms.
I'm picking up that coin. I'm so picking up.
Baby, that's a stoma.
Christ.
That's keeper right there.
I will. I am adding.
adding throat coin to my inventory.
I will offer to pick that up for you using Mage Hand since it's still probably red freaking hot.
Quite hot.
No, I think with
You can drop it whenever.
I think when you dispel, like turn the spell off, it like immediately
Just
cools.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's super dead. So the guy who was the leader, who called Alar a half-breed, gets a coin burned out of his trachea.
Yeah, you call people a half-breed, you get your trachea.
Yeah, you get.
Conveniently, that's the face you need.
Slogan.
Let that be a lesson. Let that be a lesson out there to bigots.
Yeah,
Be
Exactly.
a shithead. Get what you deserve.
Get throat coin.
2023. No more bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's the face you need, right, Russ?
Yes, that is the face.
Yeah, so don't
He's the
destroy.
boss. Okay, there are 2 guys still alive. One of them is currently held personed. One of them is currently legs out of a bag. So we can kind of break from like strict initiative. What do you guys? How are you guys handling this?
What do we want to do with this? I'll be like holding of like, what do you want to do with this guy now?
I'm gonna gag the guy that's paralyzed and like also like tie him up so that when it wears off, he's still gagged and tied.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check to determine how good your ropes are.
My ropes are fine. Hold on. Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, so a 20 will be the DC to bust out of ropes if and when that opportunity arises for him.
Okay. I will also assist by conking him on the back of the head.
Okay, and you knock him unconscious, so he's knocked out now. Okay.
Oh. Does somebody want to talk to the man inside the bag from an other side of the bag? And just being like, hey...
Can
we? I think so, can we? Isn't it all connected?
I brought you into this world, I can take you back out.
Aylar, do you want to go in or do you want me to put my head in the bag while Brom does his thing?
Yeah.
You're more persuasive. I touched this off. I think you're the one to fix this.
I locked the door.
Solution. Yeah, it's the quietest solution.
I put my head in the bag, in Aylar's bag, because I don't have my own bag.
What?
Oh, she gets
fuck is happening in here? I'm a disembodied flying around in space. I don't know. Oh my god, the talking head. What is happening? So there is a like you are like a disembodied head just sort of floating around in this nebulous space. There's a disembodied like Ignian torso floating around. Like a bag of fertilizer flies between the two of you. You eventually snap his attention to you enough, and he goes like, he's like, what in the fuck is going on here?
Well, you see, your boss was a dick to my friend, and we don't like you guys. So here's what's gonna happen, buddy. You have 2 choices right now. You can stay quiet, and I can let you out of this weird space, or we kill you.
Make a intimidation check.
Intimidation. Thank God I have so much charisma. It's another dirty 20. Thank God I have charisma.
With a dirty 20, he goes, I have no desire to be killed, and I'm having kind of a weird day. We were having after work drinks with our boss.
And then your boss followed my friend into the bathroom and called him a half-breed and was going to beat him up for stripping. So I don't care what you have to say about your day. If I let you out of this bag and you make a single word, we're going to burn a coin of metal through your throat just like we did your boss while you've been in here fooling around like an idiot, okay? Okay. And I take the bag off. I don't even give him a chance to his boss.
Osrius, you see a disembodied pair of legs pee itself, and you pull a bag off the guy's head.
I get out and I tell them like if he's not quiet, and I turn to Brom and like get the throat coin ready just in case he's not quiet.
Warm up the throat coin.
It's just Brom holding the coin right here.
No.
Okay, that's going on the shirt.
The second he lifts the thing like lifted off his head, I am ready behind him, like ready to gag him and do the whole thing again.
You pull the bag off, and he like immediately it's like, and he sees like corpses left and right.
So Matt looked away at the perfect moment.
Oh, what did I miss?
Well, I'll do it again.
Oh.
Nothing popped up on my screen.
Oh, he can't see it.
I saw it.
It was a
popped a big coin emoji in front of my face.
No. Okay, so he's
tie
there.
him up, quiet him, and I motion to Alar to hit him again because I'm not proficient with knocking people out.
Bonk! You knock him out too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I just hit somebody, I killed him. So.
And I look at Brom now for him to do his thing, and I'm just standing there feeling really happy that I actually scared a guy enough to pee, which I realize as Oz lays him down on the ground. I'm like, oh.
All right, we've got 3 people that are going to talk.
Oh.
Alar is going to draw the special dagger, the one that the wound seals. Oz, bring that one over here. Into the basin.
Okay.
Alar's going to lean the guy's head over the basin, cut his throat, wait for the, and then wait for the wound to seal.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to look back up at the mechanics of this dagger. See what happens if you actually kill somebody with it.
Oh, okay.
What dagger is this?
Does it rejuice them? Do they get their blood back? Toilet blood?
The wound will reseal after after up to 5 minutes.
So let me ask this question: are you trying to just? Is the intention here to bleed him down to the point where he stays unconscious for a really long time?
I think he's trying to kill him with no evidence of being killed, which is why the blood was going in the basin.
Yeah, Alar's. Yeah.
What's the goal here as I try to determine how the mechanics of this dagger?
Trying to kill him and then unkill him in 5 minutes, or kill him?
No, it won't unkill him. I mean, the blood will leak out, but Alar is trying to. I originally was thinking of killing him.
Weakening him?
But
if you want to kill him, you can just put him in the bag and he'll suffocate.
That's true.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, then.
Blood.
Yeah,
fertilizer, Ignian, fertilizer.
Okay, then we'll.
Well, that's gonna be really creepy in there now.
I mean, we'll pull the body out and we'll leave it among the fertilizer when we set off the charge.
This episode got fucking dark.
Yeah, it did.
I mean,
Jesus.
Sorry.
I mean, what can I say?
As we said, 2023, you don't get to be a dick anymore. We're just scared.
They fucked around. They found out.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yes, I would like to remind our viewers at home that at this point, all of the individuals involved in the current bag suffocating are high fantasy Nazis. So fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Then Alar was originally going to do that. Wait a minute, no. Blood might leak.
More specifically, the bad guys were Nazis, not the players are Nazis. Be specific about the scene.
I said the guys currently getting bag suffocated
okay.
are high fantasy Nazis.
And I faced the guys in the scene. I was like, ooh.
No, and the guy that got his throat burned out used racial slurs. So.
Exactly.
Well,
So we just throw all of their bodies into the bag.
Yep, and we'll retrieve them when we're setting off our charge.
Look, there's no Geneva Convention in Nigeria.
There's no.
Matt's like, you want to bet? Because
even if
there is,
there might have been, but
not
they
anymore.
broke the
Ignians broke every law.
The Geneva Convention doesn't apply to Nazis. The
only started a war.
The only law that applies to Nazis is get fucked, dipshit.
Yep.
Okay, then we
Anyway.
I stuffed them, 3 bodies into the bag.
Shove. No problem. Yep.
And,
you guys just did shopping for Walter. That's exciting. Let's find out what they know. Their heads are still attached.
So,
oh my God!
Gross.
We shove all the bodies in the bag.
All bodies in the bag.
Brom is doing his thing with the big guy before we put him in the bag.
Yeah, that takes like a second to do.
Yeah, you just slap the mask on his face and then pull it back off.
Okay, then his body goes in the bag.
I will remind you. Your mask has been upgraded. You gave it to Maestro LaRue.
You can be it for a long time.
That the identity of that guy will preserve in your mask forever now.
Yeah.
So you have that guy's face forever. When you put it on and learn about him, I'll give you details about him. But you might want to keep a list now, because like that dude's identity is now in your mask permanently.
Alar is going to pull out the papers I originally stole from him, take a quick look at them.
His name is Thalanil Denarin.
That's the guy.
That is the guy whose face you just grabbed. He is Thalanil Denarin.
What's his rank?
His rank is I don't know enough about military ranks. He's like a
probably captain.
Sure. He's in like the he's sort of like he's not like a
quartermaster.
Sure.
Call him stores.
Steward is what was in my head, but I couldn't think of like an appropriate high fantasy elven rank.
Yeah, that works.
Actually, hang on. No.
He's an aspirant.
He's shift supervisor. No, he's shift supervisor. Thalanil Denarin.
Okay. Alar is going to hand Braun the papers.
Okay.
Alrighty.
We done cleaning up this bathroom?
And
well, we have all the bodies away, and there was not if there's any blood, I'm prestidigitating it away to like clean up behind us.
That's fine. Yeah, you're able to clean up the
bathroom. And then Alar is going to wet down his hands and shake them off slightly and unlock the door, and he's going to kind of stagger out like, "Do not go in there."
As all of us walk out behind
you. You Ace Ventura it, and then 4 people walk out behind you, or 3 people walk out behind you. Okay, you guys walk out. You get some curious looks, but nobody seems to press the issue too hard. And as you guys exit,
where's Walter?
Walter, you
fast walk clipboard
your way. You get like you walk through like an exterior gate onto like the open like grounds of this this area before somebody calls out to you. Shift supervisor Denarin, Thalanil.
It's in my best listening to Alar too long French accent or Ignian accent. He goes, "Solve it yourself. I have things to do," and he'll just keep.
They go, "You have to sign in. Come back!" And somebody with a different clipboard begins to run after you. And as this other Ignian with a clipboard runs after you, that is where we will end our session tonight.
Woo! Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
Get in my bag. Join your friends.
Well, there you have it. That's our episode tonight. So thank you guys at home for sticking around with us tonight. Thank you everybody who donated gold and bits and things like that to our players.
Thank you.
We will be back next Tuesday, which is I believe 17th.
Yep.
For an episode of Pirates. And during that episode, we will be doing our holiday gift exchange opening. So everybody will open their gifts from their various Secret Santas that we do on the Probo channel this year. So stay tuned for that, as it's always a good time.
Christmas isn't over yet, baby!
Christmas is not over till we say it's over, and it's not over until at least the 17th. We have gifts to open from each other. So thank you, as always, to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle. Check them out, ! Little Dragon, ! CCG. And be sure to check out all of our other various streams on multiple nights of the week right here on Proficiency Bonus, as well, of course, as our YouTube channel, Proficiency Bonus on YouTube. Do all of the things. Find us, like us, follow us. You know what to do. I don't need to tell you. And of course, we will see you next time. So good night. Godspeed. I don't know. I don't have a sign off for this group. I need to come up with one. Anyway, bye.